Hey guys, what's up? This is Eric. I'm finally back on the Review Crew 100. I'm sorry that I've been gone for so long. I've been very, very busy. Been busy with my job and schoolwork, lots of homework up the ass, stuff with friends, and I've been busy writing a movie. And I'm hoping to get my movie made during the summer. I've had people said who they want to help me out with it. And yeah, I'm sorry that it's been so long, but hey, at least I'm back. And I'm here to do a review on a movie that I've wanted to review for a long time. But it's Batman Forever, the 1995 film directed by Joel Schumacher, and it is the third live action Batman film. Uh, so pretty much for a quick little retrospective of the whole Batman live action movies, in 1989 there was Tim Burton's Batman, which was a good movie. It was dark and it showed people how Batman really was like. I mean, people back then were used to that stupid 60s Batman movie or the TV series, the na 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 Batman. I mean, yeah, that made Batman famous, but that's just not Batman. But then in 1989 came Tim Burton's Batman with Michael Keaton and Jack Nicholson. It was a huge hit, and it showed people how Batman really is like. Showed just how dark he is, and yeah, it was a good movie. And then in 1992 came the sequel, Batman Returns, which Tim Burton returned to direct, and Michael Keaton I can't talk today, reprised the role of Batman, and it was dark, but maybe a little bit too dark. So because of that, the studio decided to be pussies, and they made it more childish and less dark, and even McDonald's was gonna have this whole thing about Batman Returns, like this whole toy line or whatever it was gonna be, but they canceled it because the movie was too violent and it was too dark. So because of that, the studio wanted a bunch of toys sold, and all that they cared about was the money, and they didn't give a shit if it was actually a good movie or not. All that they cared was if it made money. Boing. That's a good idea, right? So for the third Batman movie, as I said, they decided to pussy out. They they booted off Tim Burton, but he stayed as a producer. And Michael Keaton didn't come back, so instead they got Val Kilmer. And honestly, I don't mind Val Kilmer's Batman, but still, you just can't beat Michael Keaton's Batman. The story's very simple. I mean, it's nothing complex like the Christopher Nolan Batman films. Basically, the plot is Batman must battle Two-Face and the Riddler with help of a enormous psychologist and a young circus acrobat who becomes his sidekick Robin. Now, Robin. Honestly, I feel like bringing Robin was kind of a mistake. It could have worked, but they just didn't really pull it off. I mean, yeah, you still feel sympathy for the character, but then all that sympathy goes downhill quick as soon as Batman or Robin came out. And yeah, we all know how I feel about that disgrace of a movie. I already reviewed it, and that movie just pisses me off. But anyways, going back to Batman Forever, the 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 story is nothing special. The scenery is nothing special. Some of the sets are a little bit over exaggerated. Like there's some scenes in the street where there's lights going off, kind of like at a rave. It's like, okay, where the hell is there going to be lights like that on the street like that? I mean, yeah, I can understand if it's at a rave, but in the middle of the fucking street, really? And and the cinematography and the whole scenery of Gotham City is just not as dark as it was in the first Batman movie, and that's a huge letdown. But as I said, the studio decided to be pussies with this one, and that just kind of pisses me off. But oh well, that was their choice, and they made a very dumb choice. And Drew Barrymore's in this movie, but her character is just so small that literally you just could have erased her character from the whole movie, and the movie would be no different. And Two-Face, played by Tommy Lee Jones, they really fucked up Two-Face. I mean, they really fucked him up. I'm not saying that Tommy Lee Jones is a bad actor. Yeah, he has done some movies in the past what I liked, but I bet that the reason why his performance didn't work, it's not because of him, but it's probably just because of that the studio told him, oh, well, just be cartoony, and that's exactly what he did. He just he just basically, to sum it up, he reminded me more of the Jack Nicholson Joker from the original Tim Burton Batman film, and that's not Two-Face. Now, you want Two-Face, either watch Batman the Animated Series or go watch The Dark Knight. Now there is your real Two-Face, right there. That's your real Two-Face. And the makeup just looked fake. He was just not menacing. He was just a bad villain in this movie. And Jim Carrey, well, you really can't separate his Riddler from the other Riddlers because it's just Jim Carrey being Jim Carrey. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but I bet that the only reason why they even brought in Jim Carrey in the first place was because, Jim Carrey is just such a big name actor, and they just had to have, just the biggest name actor there was, and they didn't care if he was right for the role or not. They just had to get a big name actor. So anyways, as a kid, this was one of my favorite Batman movies only because of Jim Carrey, because as a kid I loved Jim Carrey, and I still love him to this day, but he was just a little bit too over the top as the Riddler in this movie. But yeah, as I said, it's just Jim Carrey being Jim Carrey, and as a kid I just loved Jim Carrey, and I just loved anything that he was in, and the whole love interest in this movie, it just felt a little bit cliched, and it just didn't really work for me. And yeah, this movie's just it just feels like, I mean, at least it had somewhat of a story, and there are some good scenes, like the scenes about Batman's parents, but honestly, that's about it. Those are like the only real scenes that are actually entertaining. Yeah, this movie is not, horrendous. It's certainly not a good movie at all, but yeah, it's not awful. I mean, if I'm bored one day, I will watch it, but I haven't really been that bored often or lately, so I doubt that I'm gonna watch this movie again anytime soon. And I don't really like how they just randomly change the Batmobile. It's like, okay, why did Batman choose to change the Batmobile, and why does it look like a fucking toy from Walmart? And okay, Batman's Batcave has the worst security system ever. So like as soon as like the Riddler came into the Batcave, all that it did was just go, intruder, 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 and then the Batmobile just spun up. Okay, if a intruder has entered, why the hell would the Batmobile, just spin up and then just appear right there? Why? Also, Two-Face in the movie is a fucking idiot. There's a scene in the beginning where Batman's cape covers the window, and then he shoots, and there's someone driving. And did he really think that shooting through Batman's cape was gonna hurt him? What a fucking idiot. Anyways, I think I've kind of gone too long with this review. This movie's okay, but it is a masterpiece compared to Batman and Robin. So see you guys later.